The Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers, Chris McGee, James Worthy, Allie Clifton. We got Brez and Trudell working the post game. The Lakers a little short-handed tonight. No AD, no Dennis Schroeder. Brooklyn, no KD, but the Nets rolled to an easy victory over the Lakers. We asked this simple question in the pregame show. Can the Lakers shoot the ball well enough from three-point land to hang with this Brooklyn offense? Simple answer is no. Brooklyn plus 30 in threes tonight. Big game. 18 for 37. The Lakers just 8 for 30. There's your ball game.
Yeah, there's your ball game. You know, we thought we'd see maybe a preview of the finals. KD out, AD out. But Brooklyn, you know, Coach Nash, he's learning how to implement the three ball. And, Gita, who's this guy?
This guy right here is Timothy Lawau Cabarro.
He was
You can call him TLC.
Fire. He was on fire. And then who was the other? This kid.
Joe Harris.
They call him Joey Bucket.
Joey Buckets was on fire. From what I understand, he's a great corner three-point shooter. So we got to see a little bit. We know what the Lakers have. Yeah. We got to see a bit of what Brooklyn may potentially have. They are a very good team when they play the way they play, shooting the three, breaking down the defense. They have three dynamic scorers, but they also have a good supporting cast. DeAndre Jordan, you know, a center, a defender, and shot blocker. I thought the Lakers, they played hard. They played, you know, they just didn't shoot the ball well. They didn't shoot the ball well at all. Some unfortunate turnovers during the time when they were digging at the lead, but not a match for the dynamic duo and the way they shot the ball from outside.
Yeah, James nailed it. You tip your hat to the Nets. They came in and they did what they're supposed to do. I think the most telling stat of them coming in is that they're 10-1 against teams above 500. So you knew what you were going to get from them. As you mentioned, they moved the basketball, 23 assists. Their supporting cast plays their roles, and they play it very well. You know, there's a lot of talk about the Brooklyn Nets and their lack of defense. I'm not saying that you give all of the credit to the Nets tonight, but there were some holes. And the Lakers will see on film that they didn't take advantage of those opportunities. Some missed shots. Yeah. Only 7 fast break points. This is a team that loves to get out and run in transition and never really caught that rhythm offensively. Yeah. So a lot to learn from in this one.
I was told we're going to talk about the duo. Most would think that means Harden, Kyrie. I'm talking about TLC, Timothy Lawau Cabarro, and Joe Harris. Joe Harris was 6 of 7. TLC 5 of 8 from 3. Those two guys alone, 11 threes, plus 9 over the Lakers in three-point shooting.
It just goes to show you, when you have elite players on your team, you know, you become a better three-point shooting team. When the Lakers were shooting the ball very well a month or so ago, it was because of the way the offense is being run. When you have Harden, he's going to break you down every time. Kyrie Irving's going to break you down every time. KD is going to break you down every time. So when you're sitting out there rubbing your chops, I'm not going to say it's an easy shot, but it's an easier shot to make. And those guys have been encouraged by D'Antoni. You know, he's told Steve Kerr, Nash, that, you know, this is the way we have to play, especially when they're going small. So they've incorporated a little bit of what Harden was already doing in Houston. And when you got those three guys that can break down defense, they could be trouble.
They move great without the basketball. Those two guys, impossible to stay in front of. So they're going to get into the paint. They're going to be able to dribble penetrate. It doesn't matter who's defending him. Then they swing the ball, and that's how you get the open looks. And Allie, they get a ton of open threes.
Look, TLC is a guy that I haven't watched a whole lot of. I think we saw glimpses of him in the bubble with the Brooklyn Nets a season ago. But you saw tonight what happens when James Harden and Kyrie demand so much attention. But I did have, I was fortunate. I covered Joe Harris as a rookie in Cleveland. And he is a product out of Virginia, a 4-year player in a very disciplined system at the college level who came in right away as a rookie and did his job. And he did it on both ends. He worked hard. He took his shots when they were there, and he has become a deadly, lethal weapon for the Nets beyond that arc. And it's fun to watch.
Did he win the national championship at Virginia? Dieter?
No, he had graduated before.
He's already in the league.
Yeah, but he's special. You know,
but he's a great player.
He comes from a disciplined program, just like you said.
And by the way, led the NBA, James, in three-point percentage 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, he can play. I'm going to ask you guys this. I've been trying to ask this question for the last few weeks. I don't know who beats them in the East. I can't think of a team that can beat them in a playoff series in the East with KD healthy.
I do not either. You know, for what they've been able to do, playing against 500 teams, and they're not there yet. You know, give them another, you know, month or so.
Yeah, they've only played 6 games together, all three of them.
To kind of blend together. You know, the experience of D'Antoni sitting over there. He's gonna make sure that Steve Nash is doing the right thing. And when you have those 3 guys out there, you don't have to do much. I mean, Harden's been there. He knows how to do it. KD's a winner. Kyrie, you got 2 guys on there that's won championship, and one extremely eager to get his. That's why he left Houston.
Yeah, I agree. It's when you actually watch them, though we didn't get it at full strength, you could only imagine, obviously, what happens when Kevin Durant steps in there and the firepower. But again, I said it in the pregame show, I think the biggest thing for them on the offensive end was being able to figure out who had the ball in their hands, who was going to run the show. It's James Harden. He does it so well. And if they can get on the same page, which there's plenty of time to do so on the defensive end, and really commit to that end, because I think what we've learned is that that's what's going to win you championships. Yeah, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I did see LeBron, you know, when he went out of the game. He was having a conversation with AD. And they weren't talking about where they were going to dinner afterwards. They were talking about, okay, look, this is who we might possibly play. You know, obviously they're not, you know, excluding the Clippers or anybody like that, but he's looking at that team and saying, look, and I can hear him say, if we do this, if we can do that, we have a chance. And the Lakers play good. You know, they chipped away at it. But the way Brooklyn can put up 10 points in 10 seconds.
Get it to
and
9, it's back up to 15.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this season unfolds on the East Coast, for sure.
All right, let's get you guys to the highlights here. Second best.